reaction. Fucking free. What a reaction.
Fucking free, man.
No reaction. Just slam the chair and walk away. Not even no GGs. Yeah, he's done.
Fucking done, dude. Alright, it's the next day because I was way too tired and just not willing to talk about this level last night. So, I'm gonna do that right now. Ah, Jesus, where do I start, man? So I picked this up end of June, just out of nowhere, honestly, and I was just like, okay, you know what? I kind of like this level. I'm gonna play it, you know, try maybe get some runs on it. I kept playing it. I'm like, okay, I guess we're gonna actually go for this because I really liked playing the level. Every aspect of it, I was just like, yo, it's cool. I like the deco. I think listen, maybe this one's a little controversial, but I actually like the remix of the song. I think it's pretty good, and I like the gameplay, and I just wanted to go for it. So I did, and I started playing it, and I'm like, okay, sure. I mean, I'll do a second hardest, knock this out hopefully before July starts. And things did not go my way, you know. First day I was just trying to get some decent runs, nothing crazy. So I was still enjoying it. Day 2 is when I started to try and get like deeper runs. I was really trying to be patient because I'm like, okay, this is the second hardest, it's hard, I gotta take my time with it. I'm probably not going to beat it quickly. Like I did Delta Interface, and even Delta Interface took me like 3 days still. And quantum processing took me like a little over a day. So I tried. I spent most of my time in practice mode trying to get some decent runs. And day 2, I really struggled day 2. Like I could not do anything, man. I lost all my consistency on day 2. Like the part before the 50 section, it was so easy on day 1. Like I had basically no issue trying to get that down. And then on day 2, it was gone. Lost all my consistency, couldn't do it anymore. I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on. I tried changing the offset around, and eventually I settled on, I don't even remember, I think even up until day 4, I just kept messing with the offset. Like I never really found something that works for real. Yeah, I believe day 2 was when I got that 34 to 100 run, and that was just like, I think what happened was I got 34 to 100 at the start of the session, and then after that, I could never replicate that run, and I'm just like, okay, I'm done. And then later that night, turning into the next day, I was like, okay, I am randomly consistent. I'm gonna try and play, change my offset. I'm like, okay, we just gonna play from 0. And that was actually a fairly good session from what I remember. I managed to get up to 72%. So I was doing pretty good that session. And I was kind of hoping to beat it, and that just didn't happen. I'm like, you know what, that's fine. I don't want to spend too much time on this right now. I'll get it later, right? The morning of that day comes, and I'm just playing like trash, man. I'm really struggling. And this is when like the nonsense started happening, man. End of this session happened because I got a power outage, so that completely screwed me up, and I literally couldn't play. And I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I'm not gonna bother. And I just called it there for the day, right? Started doing it again the next day. This is where things got really stupid, right? I started making a little bit of progress again, right? I think I got 80 in practice mode, which was really annoying because I didn't know I was in practice mode. I got 78 in normal mode. Both of those were because of lag spikes, and that pissed me the hell off, dude. And then my Wi-Fi went out, so there was that as well. And it felt like everything was against me trying to beat this level. There were so many attempts that I got past 70 where I could do it, and I just threw the attempt away, and it was so frustrating. I'll get to my issues with the level later, but there's a section of the song where it says do it all again, and right after that was the part I would die so often, so having to hear that only made it worse. The final session, I spent like 6 hours playing it. I'm like, I need to get this done, bro. I don't want to play this again. That probably contributed to my low enjoyment on it, but it was just taking too long. I just had to do it. It was a shame because it started off as like a 9 out of 10 enjoyment, maybe a 10 even. I was really enjoying it, and I just kept going and going and going, and then we ended up at what is probably the worst experience I've ever had playing this game. Like, Dreamfully was bad, and that took me 2-3 days, right? This is an extra day on top of that, and it was just a pain, man. It really was. But yeah, that's my experience. Let me talk about the actual level now. This level is actually so difficult. Like, I was halfway through my journey to beating this, and I was sitting here like, yo, I think I have more attempts on this than I do Goner. I don't think this is going to be a second hardest anymore. And the more I played, I'm like, oh my god, am I just beating a hardest at this point? Because I think this is harder than Goner by quite a bit. Maybe not like a whole tier, but this should not be tier 29. I don't know how this is tier 29. The tier 29s I have to compare this to are like Catalyze and Chromatic Haze. And neither of those compare to this. There was never a point when I was playing this where I'm just like, okay, this feels easy. It felt either like barely possible or just not possible. And I genuinely did not think I was going to be able to do this for a while. It's so easy to get like locked in when you're doing like a long wave hold or release. You get sucked in to that corridor and then you just die because you click too late. And it's just, that happens so often. And even with the like some of these orb clicks, man, you would fixate on it too much. So you'd end up like hitting it too early or late or something. And it was just so annoying. But in terms of the pre-drop, I don't think the pre-drop is all that bad, like at all. Only part of the level that I actually genuinely dislike are the freaking Sonic Wave roller coaster clicks, bro. There's so many of them. And I just hate I hate that kind of gameplay. I really do. The fact that these timers were used so frequently in this level was so annoying. The do it all again section, these 3 clicks. I could not for the life of me get this consistent ever. Not only was it impossible, it just sucks because they're not aligned properly. You would do the timing, one of them would be alive and they would be dead, and it's like, okay, great, that's awesome. So having to get a click pattern where you could get both of them to stay alive was so difficult, and this part was just also just so annoying. There were so many times where I'm just like, okay, maybe I can get to the last section, right? Nope, the run ends here. Ugh, it was so frustrating. And then you get out that section, and then you would let a 65, the easiest wave click of all time, because of nerves. Literally, the part after this is not that hard, and I died there like 4 times. It was so frustrating. And then you have the part after it, which isn't that hard, right? Until you hit like the 70 wave. The 70 wave is just the 60 wave, but slightly better, but still impossible. If you get past the 70 wave, you shouldn't be dying to anything, which made every death I had past it so frustrating. And then beyond that, it's not that hard. The level's pretty much over. Yeah, this sucked, which is a huge shame because I actually like this level quite a bit. I really do, and I would probably recommend this as long as you're not doing it as a hardest, or maybe if you go into it thinking it's probably gonna be like Yada difficulty, you'll probably have a better time. Or if you're just good at wave, because this is my second 9 circles extreme, by the way. First was down base. I'm not that good at wave. For my skill level, I'm quite wave crippled, actually. Oh my god, I always have been, despite the amount of times that I try to play wave levels to improve that. It always lags behind every other skill set. I can kind of feel, I played a couple levels earlier, I can kind of feel the improvement. Hopefully I can just get a little bit better at wave as a result of me beating this, because this was a grind and a half, man. And yeah, it only took me 4 days. But that's a long time for me to spend grinding a level 4 days straight. I have like 12 hours on this level. I probably had like 6 max on Delta interface, man. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say on the level. Let me go ahead and see. I haven't looked at this at all. I have no idea how many times I have. I guess we'll find out. Holy crap, dude. Nearly 8K attempts. Not including the power outage. I'm probably into not like the 9, maybe 10K range. Like, this took such a long time, man. 737? Maybe I lost 737 in the power outage. If that's the case, then that puts me like, I'm only sitting at like 8,600. I say only, but man, I think that is the second most amount of attempts I've ever spent on a level. And the first being Moment, because that was all like mobile progress, and I did it in like 2 days on PC. So it's done. I never have to play this level again, thankfully. Once again, I don't think it's a bad level, but this is probably getting a 0 out of 10. This was truly a miserable experience at the end of it. But yeah, that's about it, I guess.